Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're diving into the really surprising and frankly dangerous relationship between the salt you sprinkle on your food and a condition called heart failure.
Now, I know, it sounds a little weird, right? Table salt and a failing heart. But trust me, the answer tells this incredible story about how our body's own defense mechanisms can sometimes go haywire and, well, make a really bad situation even worse.
All right, so let's get right into it. First things first, we've got to be super clear about what heart failure actually means. A lot of people think it means the heart just stops, but that's not it at all. It's really about the heart becoming a much weaker, less efficient pump.
And that weak pumping action, that's the real villain of the story here. It kicks off this whole chain reaction, a huge miscommunication all through your body. And this creates this bizarre situation where the body is trying to help, but every move it makes actually hurts the heart even more.
Okay, but before we get into how this whole system breaks down, we kind of need to see how it's supposed to work, right? And it all boils down to one thing: fluid balance.
I mean, think about it. Our bodies are something like 60% water, and making sure we have just the right amount of that water in all the right places, well, it's literally essential for our survival.
And inside our bodies, there's this really strict division of labor. You've got sodium. That's the star player outside our cells. Its main gig is controlling how much fluid is in that space. The golden rule is simple: wherever sodium goes, water is sure to follow.
Now, this next part is super important. The body doesn't actually care about the total amount of fluid you have. What it's really measuring is something about the effective arterial blood volume, or EABV for short. Just think of it like this. It's the amount of fluid that's actually circulating and getting to your organs to do all the important stuff.
Okay, so now that we've got that foundation down, let's look at where it all goes wrong. What happens when that heart pump starts to get weak?
And this is the great deception in heart failure. Your body might be totally overloaded with fluid, just full of it, but because the pump is weak, it can't move that fluid around very well. So the body's sensors, especially in the kidneys, feel this low pressure, and they think, oh no, we're dehydrated, and they sound the alarm. And that alarm kicks off a total disaster, like a set of dominoes falling. The kidneys unleash these super powerful hormones that basically scream at the body, hold on to all the salt and water you can, don't let anything go. They think they're saving the day, but really all that extra fluid just puts even more strain on the already weak heart, making the whole situation so much worse.
And this image here, it's the perfect way to picture this imbalance. See, your body does have systems to get rid of extra salt and water, but in heart failure, those salt-retaining hormones just go into complete overdrive. They totally overwhelm the systems that are trying to get rid of the excess.
So you might be wondering, how do doctors even figure out this internal battle is happening? Well, eventually, all the evidence of that fluid overload starts to, well, leak out. It becomes visible on the outside.
I mean, all that extra fluid the body's been holding on to by mistake, it's got to go somewhere, right? So it starts seeping out of the blood vessels. That's what causes the swelling you see in people's legs and ankles. It can even build up in the lungs, and that's what leads to that classic, really scary symptom of shortness of breath.
So, here's the key takeaway. All these things, the swelling, the trouble breathing, even the bulging veins you can sometimes see in the neck, they aren't separate problems. They are the direct physical signs of that chaotic hormonal war going on inside the body.
Yeah, to be absolutely sure, doctors don't just rely on physical signs. They look for a very specific distress signal in the blood. It's a hormone called brain natriuretic peptide, or BNP for short.
See, when the heart muscle gets stretched out by all that extra fluid, it releases BNP. It's like the heart's last-ditch effort. Its cry for help, trying to fight back against those hormones that are making the body hold on to salt. And because of that, high levels of BNP are an incredibly reliable way to diagnose heart failure and even figure out how severe it is. Okay, so that's the problem. It's a total mess. How do we fix it? Well, if the whole problem is this vicious cycle of salt and water retention, then it makes sense, right? The goal of treatment is to break that cycle, and you want to hit it from every possible angle.
And if you look at the treatments, each one is like a targeted counterattack. First, you cut back on salt in the diet. That reduces the amount coming in. Then you use diuretics, which are basically water pills, to force the kidneys to get rid of the excess fluid. And then you bring in the heavy hitters, medications like RAAS inhibitors, which go right to the source and block those false alarm signals that started this whole mess.
And things are getting even more sophisticated. Modern medicine is coming up with some really smart drugs now. We have some that don't just block the bad hormones. They can actually boost the good ones, the ones that help the body get rid of salt.
And there are others that work on the kidneys in totally new ways to help you excrete not just salt but also glucose, which gives you multiple benefits from a single medication. It's pretty amazing.
Which kind of leaves us with this final thought. When you boil it all down, heart failure is really a story about a massive hormonal imbalance. And as our ability to target these specific hormones gets better and better, you have to wonder, what's next? The future of treatment is probably going to be incredibly personalized, fine-tuning that delicate salt and water balance for each and every patient. It's a really exciting frontier.